In a world full of certainties, truths, and long-established norms, Friedrich Nietzsche tore down the very foundations upon which our understanding of existence had been built. The proverbial tower of reason, faith, and morality was left in ruins by Nietzsche's revolutionary ideas. But in that debris, a new understanding of the human condition was born, one that would give rise to existentialism and influence some of the most important philosophers of the 20th century. Nietzsche's proclamation that God is dead, his rejection of universal moral truths, and his focus on individual will over social norms laid the groundwork for a profound philosophical movement. Existentialism, the philosophical movement concerned with individual freedom, choice, and the search for meaning in an indifferent universe, owes much to Nietzsche's vision. But Nietzsche's contributions were not just the launching pad for existentialism. They were also an invitation for humanity to affirm life, to confront suffering, and to create one's own values in an ever-shifting world. As we delve into Nietzsche's philosophy, we'll uncover how his ideas inspired existentialist thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre, Albert Camus, and Martin Heidegger. Their exploration of personal freedom, responsibility, and the absurdity of existence would not have been possible without the groundwork laid by Nietzsche. Through understanding Nietzsche's insights into affirmation, nihilism, and the nature of existence, we'll begin to see how his revolutionary ideas continue to shape our worldview today. Before we dive deep into Nietzsche's lasting impact, let me take a moment to welcome you to the Unfolding Journey channel. Here, we embark on explorations into the world of philosophy, psychology, and human existence, unraveling the complexities of thought that have shaped our world. If you're someone who's keen on exploring profound ideas and challenging the norms, you're in the right place. Be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join us on this incredible intellectual adventure. Now, let's get back to Nietzsche's world-shattering ideas and their legacy. Friedrich Nietzsche is perhaps best known for his radical rethinking of the traditional philosophical and moral frameworks that dominated Western thought for centuries. Born in 1844, Nietzsche was immersed in the intellectual currents of his time, yet he was never content to follow the established path. His critique of religion, metaphysics, and morality shattered the foundations of long-standing beliefs and traditions. At the heart of Nietzsche's philosophy was the rejection of traditional notions of truth and morality. For centuries, Western thought had been shaped by Christian theology and a belief in an objective, universal moral order. Nietzsche, however, saw this as a straitjacket for human potential. In his famous declaration, "God is dead," Nietzsche was not making a theological statement about the literal death of God. Rather, he was describing the decline of the metaphysical and moral systems built upon the existence of God. For Nietzsche, the modern world was characterized by the erosion of these traditional beliefs, leaving humanity adrift in a sea of nihilism, a sense that life had no inherent meaning or purpose. In the face of this nihilism, Nietzsche proposed an alternative, the philosophy of affirmation. Rather than succumb to despair or retreat into traditional moral systems, Nietzsche advocated for the affirmation of life in all its complexity, including its suffering, chaos, and impermanence. This idea of affirmation was crucial for the development of existentialism, which would later center on the themes of individual freedom, choice, and responsibility. Existentialism, as a distinct philosophical movement, emerged in the 20th century as a response to the sense of meaninglessness and absurdity that followed Nietzsche's declaration of the death of God. While existentialism as a term didn't fully crystallize until the works of Jean-Paul Sartre and others, the movement's roots can be traced directly to Nietzsche's thought. Existentialism grapples with the problem of meaning in a universe that offers no inherent purpose. In this regard, Nietzsche's emphasis on the individual's responsibility to create meaning was profoundly influential. The existentialists who followed Nietzsche, including Sartre, Camus, and Heidegger, saw Nietzsche's critique of traditional values as an invitation to confront the void left behind by the collapse of God and universal morality. Jean-Paul Sartre is often regarded as one of the most prominent existentialists, and his work is deeply indebted to Nietzsche's philosophy. Sartre's concept of radical freedom finds its roots in Nietzsche's call for the individual to create their own values in a world without inherent meaning. Sartre famously stated that existence precedes essence, meaning that human beings are not born with a predefined purpose or identity. Rather, they must define themselves through their actions and choices. Like Nietzsche, Sartre emphasized the burden of freedom. If there is no universal moral framework, then it is up to the individual to create their own values and live according to them. This responsibility can be overwhelming, but it also offers the potential for authentic self-creation and personal transformation. Sartre's philosophy, particularly his concept of bad faith, is a direct response to Nietzsche's existential challenge: to confront life's meaninglessness head-on and avoid the temptation of comforting illusions or societal norms. Albert Camus, another key existentialist figure, also engaged with Nietzsche's philosophy, particularly in his exploration of the concept of the absurd. For Camus, the absurd arises from the confrontation between our deep desire for meaning and the indifference of the universe. In his famous essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, Camus presents the image of Sisyphus, condemned to roll a boulder up a hill only for it to roll back down each time. Camus uses this metaphor to illustrate the human condition. We strive for meaning, but the universe offers none. While Camus did not follow Nietzsche in the same way Sartre did, he was still deeply influenced by Nietzsche's rejection of transcendental meaning. However, Camus rejected Nietzsche's idea of the will to power as a form of life affirmation. Instead, Camus proposed a form of rebellion, a conscious, defiant embrace of life despite its inherent absurdity. Rather than finding meaning in external sources, Camus argued, we must create meaning for ourselves in the face of an indifferent world. This resonates with Nietzsche's idea that life should be affirmed, but it also presents a different approach, one that embraces the absurdity of existence without attempting to transcend it through metaphysical or moral systems. Martin Heidegger, although not always classified as an existentialist, was heavily influenced by Nietzsche's thought. Heidegger's philosophical project was primarily concerned with the question of being, what it means to be. In his magnum opus Being and Time, Heidegger explored how human beings experience their existence in the world, which he described as being toward death. Heidegger's existential inquiry revolves around the concept of nothingness, which he saw as a key to understanding the human experience. Nietzsche's influence is evident in Heidegger's discussion of the will to power and the individual's ability to assert themselves in the face of an uncertain and chaotic world. Heidegger's work is seen as a continuation of Nietzsche's rejection of traditional metaphysics and an exploration of how humans can affirm their existence in a world without predefined meaning. Nietzsche's ideas continue to reverberate throughout contemporary philosophy and beyond. In our postmodern age, characterized by an ever-expanding pluralism of beliefs, values, and worldviews, Nietzsche's call for personal responsibility and the creation of meaning remains as relevant as ever. Nietzsche's work challenges us to confront the complexities of our existence, to reject easy answers, and to embrace the transformative power of individual choice. Nietzsche's philosophy also resonates in various fields beyond philosophy. In literature, psychology, and art, his influence can be seen in the works of authors such as Franz Kafka, poets like Rainer Maria Rilke, and even the cinematic works of directors like Werner Herzog. His impact can also be felt in existential psychology, particularly in the works of figures like Viktor Frankl, who developed his concept of logotherapy as a way to help individuals find meaning in their lives, even in the face of suffering. Moreover, Nietzsche's philosophy has influenced social and political thought. His critique of traditional values and power structures has inspired critical theorists, postmodern thinkers, and advocates for social change who seek to challenge oppressive ideologies and systems. In the end, Nietzsche's legacy is one of both destruction and creation. By tearing down the old systems of meaning, Nietzsche left a void, but in that void lies the opportunity for the individual to forge their own path. His call for the affirmation of life, despite its suffering and chaos, is a powerful message for our time. Nietzsche encourages us to confront the absurdity of existence not with resignation, but with a defiant and life-affirming spirit. Existentialism, with its emphasis on freedom, choice, and responsibility, carries Nietzsche's torch forward into the 20th and 21st centuries. His influence remains profound, as his ideas challenge us to think deeply about our place in the world and to take responsibility for creating our own meaning. If you found this exploration of Nietzsche's ideas insightful and thought-provoking, be sure to subscribe to our channel, The Unfolding Journey. Join us as we continue to dive into philosophical ideas that have shaped our understanding of the world. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of this unfolding intellectual journey.